Hi, I'm Tanya Hayes, Territory Business Manager for Seedforce in New South Wales, and today I'm going to be following on from my talk on perennial grasses for their use in spring. So the good thing about tall fescues in particular in spring is that 2/3 of their production is within that spring early summer period. So even though they're a temperate, you would think that there would be predominantly autumn winter production, but it's not. So you need to manage that growth during the spring period, and you need to keep it within that grazing pattern of about 5 centimetres to maintain that quality and that growth. By doing that, that'll actually help it keep in that vegetative stage. And then by the time you get to late summer, it'll start to go reproductive and you can let it go because the cattle don't really do too much on it after that, and just allow the summer grasses to come from there. One good thing with tall fescues in particular in spring is if you don't have the stock to graze it and keep that residual surplus growth down, what you can do is cut it for hay and silage. And you really want to cut it at that early heading date when it's starting to sort of look like it's going to go to head, and that's going to maintain its quality, and it's also going to help the remainder of the fescue that's there and to keep it good quality for the future fescue that comes back after it. Cocksfoot is a perennial grass that you really need to take advantage of. It is one of the most persistent perennial grasses on the market. It's very tolerant of dry conditions and most insects. In the past, there have been older varieties that were quite unpalatable, but now we've got those more summer active varieties that are actually going to provide that really good nutrition value. One thing with Cocksfoot, you can pretty much graze that all over summer. It'll actually keep in the reproductive stage. You want to keep it short. You want to keep it at that around 5 centimetres. Graze it every 2 to 3 weeks to make sure that it's keeping at that reproductive stage, because it will produce a lot of feed in spring. You're looking at around about 60 to 80 kilograms of dry matter per hectare per day that it produces in spring. So you really want to keep that down and really want to graze that hard. By doing that, you're actually going to keep the value there. The other important thing with Cocksfoot to keep in mind is that it will actually, with its deep roots, it will actually draw and uptake nutrients and moisture from the soil. That'll draw that to the surface, and that will then be grazed by livestock to keep them moving as well. Prairie grass is another perennial option that is a great alternative to ryegrass, especially in hot conditions, because it does have deeper roots than a ryegrass. It actually lasts a little bit longer in the hot conditions and tries to maintain its quality during those hot conditions. It makes really good high protein quality hay for both livestock and horses for that matter. The main thing you need to be aware of is keeping that seed set managed within the spring period. You graze it around about the every 18 to 24 days in spring, about the 4-tiller stage, to really maintain that quality. You also want to, when it's getting to late spring, early summer, you want to keep around about 2 to 3 seed heads per square metre in the paddock to allow it to set seed, but you'll also be able to graze it then as well because the seed head is quite palatable. So just if you get excess, again, cut it for hay and silage and keep that value there.